أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome everybody to today's class, Thursdays. Jazakumullah for your punctuality, for arriving on time. Okay, so let's go straight into the dua, and I will choose a young student. Let me see. Let me choose a young people, a 1134. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Darling, how are you?
Good.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Alhamdulillah.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I am very good. Thank you for asking. Okay, so let's go straight into this dua that we're going to read today, which is highlighted in yellow. Okay, I will read it and you shall inshallah follow with me. Everybody at home, can you also follow along with us? Okay, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi
Allimni ma huwa khairun indak. Excellent. Now, could you read for me the English translation underneath?
O my Lord, teach me what is best for me in your knowledge.
Excellent. Jazakumullah for that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put you back.
I'm happy. Jazakallah.
You're welcome. Okay. Now then, I'd just like to ask everybody if they can possibly on their screen see if they can see where it says a little panel, and it'll have mute, start video, manage participants, etc. on there. If you can see that your start video icon has a red line across it, then that's fine. If it doesn't, can you click on it so that the red line appears? That'll make sure that your video is switched off. Okay? Okay. Right, okay, so today's lesson is going to follow the format as we've been doing in the last few days. We're going to finish off the exercise that was started yesterday. Then we're going to have a quick recap of everything that we've covered so far. And then inshallah, we will then go on to having some presentations just so that you know how to log in properly, how to switch off your video, and general etiquettes that we expect from everybody. So if you could make sure that you've got an adult with you or an older brother and sister, a pen and a piece of paper would be quite useful. Okay, so without further ado, let's go to lesson 4, which was the lesson that the day teacher yesterday had started. Okay, and she was teaching you about combined letters, and she was showing you how the letters have an isolated form. Let me just find my hand, 1 second. Okay. Okay, so she was showing you an isolated form such as this, and then she explained to you how, although that's how the letter is written, when you join up writing, just like you do in English, the letter changes and the way it looks is different. And for example, with the ba, this is how it looks when it starts off a word. This is what it will look like when it's in the middle of a word. And this is what it will look like when it's at the end of a word. In order to be able to read Quranic Arabic, you need to know your alphabet, most definitely. You need to know what the letters look like, but you also need to know how those letters look when they're appearing within words, when they're in a joined up form. And so this lesson is going to introduce you how to recognize those letters. Okay, so yesterday she had reached to here. Okay, if you bear with me for 1 second. Okay, so she had reached to this letter here, ha. And I will now finish off this lesson with these 3 letters, okay? This letter here is the letter ha. When you want to say it correctly, take a deep breath and then just say ha. It comes right from the bottom of your throat. This is what it looks like in its isolated form. When it starts off a word, it changes quite a lot. If you can see here, okay, follow it around with my cursor. This is how it looks when it starts off a word. When it appears in the middle of a word, when there's a letter before it and a letter afterwards, it almost flips on its side. If you can just imagine this is flipped on its side, looks a little bit like a butterfly. These are the 2 wings. Okay, that's how it looks. It's still the same letter. And at the end of a word, this is how it looks like. And if you can see how it is in the middle, it's a little bit like taking that shape there and straightening it a little bit. Okay, this is a letter H. This is how it appears at the beginning of a word, how it appears in the middle of a word, and how it appears at the end of a word. Now I'm just going to ask a student, and let me just choose. I just chose a difficult, so let's choose a young Nasra. Okay, let's choose somebody we haven't had before. N1234. Nasra, N1234. Assalamu alaikum.
N123. Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, darling. How are you?
Tiga.
Alhamdulillah. Okay then. So, sweetheart, can you read for me this letter here?
Okay. I don't know what is it.
This one here that I'm circling here is a H.
Ha.
Okay. Can you see that I'm circling it with my cursor?
Hanji.
Okay, then well done. Okay, now then, this is how it appears when it begins a word.
Ha.
Okay, and it's highlighted in red here, okay? So this is a H. So if you repeat after me, H.
Ha.
Excellent, well done. What is the letter next to it here?
Alif.
Alif, well done. Yes, it joins onto the H, goes up and it curls around. What's this letter here?
Dal.
Excellent, Dal. And this one here?
I don't know.
Okay. There is a shape here, okay? And 2 dots underneath.
Yeah.
We haven't actually taught you this as yet. And you don't recognize it already? No. Okay then, this is a Ya, okay?
Yeah.
Ya. Okay, we will come to it in a few moments. Okay. And then, can you tell me what this letter here is?
Alif.
Well done. Yes, Alif. Okay, let's move on to here. Can you tell me what this letter here is? It was
I don't know.
here as well. Okay then, it's...
I forgot what it's called.
That's okay. There's the shape here. It has 2 dots underneath. This is a Ya.
Yum.
A Ya.
It's my turn.
Sweetheart, Nasra N1234 is who should be on the mic. Okay?
Okay.
Okay then, so you stay on the mic. Do you have a brother or a sister with you that's also part of the class?
Yes.
Okay then. Well, when your turn is finished, I will give the mic to your sister.
Yeah.
Okay, all right then. So you just speak on the mic at the moment, okay? So this letter here is a ya.
Yum.
Okay, darling. Say it like this. Y-A-A. Ya.
Ya.
Okay, well done. What's the next letter here, highlighted in red?
Ha.
Well done. Yes, take a breath and come right from the bottom of your throat. Ha.
Ha.
Excellent. Well done. What's the next letter here?
Dal.
Excellent. Well done. Yes. Notice how this ha leads into the dal here and then it comes round. Okay. Well done for recognizing that. Now this letter here, I don't know if you recognize it. Okay. It does look a little bit like a gaf. Okay. But it's a little bit curlier. Okay. This is a ya.
Ya.
Excellent. Well done. We will come to it in a moment. It's the letter down here. And so we haven't covered it as yet. Okay. Let's move on to here. What is this letter here?
Mim.
Well done. Meme. Repeat after me. Meme.
Mim.
Excellent. Well done. What's the next one here?
Dal.
Okay. Okay. There's a bend here and there's a dot on the top. Let me just show you.
Is it Zal?
What's this letter here?
Noon.
Excellent. Well done. Can you see it here? This shape here with the dot?
Yes.
This is also a noon. Can you see it here where it bends like this with a dot on the top? That's also a noon. If I take you back, see if you can recognize this letter now.
Noon.
Excellent. Well done. Noon. Repeat after me. Noon. Well done. Okay. What's this letter here highlighted in red?
What?
This one is, okay, this is the letter that we're actually,
Ha.
that's right. This is what it looks like in its isolated form, okay? When it comes at the end of a word, it's a ha. Okay, repeat after me. Ha.
Ha.
Well done. Okay then. Okay then, sweetheart. Jazakumullah for your help. Is it your sister or your brother who's part of the class?
Sister.
Okay, and what is her ID?
Auntie.
G.
Where's the auntie?
That's okay, darling.
It's M6. I don't know.
All right. Okay then. Well then, I can't give her the mic at the moment. Okay. Maybe I will find her in the.
She's in Quran class.
All right. Okay then. So she will be as this in this class. Okay then, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Jazakumullah, and I will maybe speak with you again.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay. Right then. So now, having spoken to a Nasirat, let's choose a young Tifl. Okay. So A116. Okay. 6. Okay. At young Tifl A1167. Assalamu alaikum. See, go. Tifl A1167. Can you hear me? Assalamu alaikum. Okay, he cannot hear me. Let me choose somebody else. A1138. Okay. A1138. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, darling. How are you?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. Let me just write down your ID. Okay, fantastic. Okay then, sweetheart. We're now going to move on to this line here, and I'll just introduce this letter. This is a hamza, okay? When it appears at the beginning of a word, it keeps the same form. When it appears in the middle of a word, it looks exactly the same, but it tends to sit on top of something. Here it's sitting on top of a bend. And at the end of a word, it looks again in the same way as it does in its isolated form. So sweetheart, can you read for me these letters here? What is this one?
Hamza.
Well done. Hamza.
Alif.
Well done.
Ta.
Okay, that's right. I don't know if everybody caught that, so I'll just repeat that. This is a noon and this is a ta. Okay, well done. You did say them properly. I don't think everybody caught that. Okay, and this one here?
Seen.
Well done. And this one?
Hamza.
Excellent.
Lam.
Well done. Excellent. And here?
Jim.
Well done.
Alif.
Well done. Alif?
Hamza.
Well done. Okay, Jazakumullah sweetheart. Your brother is with you, A1146?
Yep.
Okay, then. I will now pass the mic on to him and I will move on to this letter with him, okay? Assalamu alaikum, the full 1146.
You're going to say it. Yeah.
A1146.
Hello.
Alaikum. Walaikum salam, darling. How are you?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay then, so you're going to be doing this next line and I'll just introduce it first of all, okay? This is a letter Ya, okay? If I follow it around with my cursor, this is how it looks when it's on its own. When it appears at the beginning of a word, it changes its shape quite a lot. It's a little, half of a little boat here, and it has two dots underneath. This is a Ya when it begins a word. When it appears in the middle of a word, it looks like this, a bend, and it has two dots at the bottom. And when it appears at the end of a word, it looks just like it does in its isolated form, a simple Ya. Okay, so can you read for me the letters that are appearing here?
Ya.
Well done.
La.
Okay. This is, okay, that's fine. Okay, this is a very common misunderstanding that children tend to have, okay? This letter here is actually an alif. A lot of the time people do sometimes confuse it with a lam, okay? But the way that you can usually tell the difference is that if a letter is joining into it, okay, but there's no letter coming straight afterwards, it'll be an alif, okay? This is what an alif looks like. If it was a lam, it would have this curly bit here, okay? This curly bit here. If I take you up to where the lam actually is, okay? This is what a lam looks like, okay? The straight line and a part of the bend appears at the beginning of a word. When it's in the middle, the previous letter joins into it, and then the lam will always join into another letter here, okay? Well, yes, it will usually join into another letter here. This is what a lam looks like. Here is an alif. An alif never joins into something else, okay? Now, we'll come across these examples quite often during the course, so don't worry, we shall come to recognize them. This is an alif, okay? So if you repeat, what is this letter here?
Ya.
Well done. And this is?
Alif.
Well done. And this is?
Mim.
Well done. And this is?
Ra.
Excellent. Well done. And here?
Ta.
Well done.
Qua.
Okay, that is the sound that it will often make, okay? But the actual letter is called a ghain.
Okay.
Okay, so if you repeat after me, ghain.
Ghain.
Excellent. Well done. And here?
Ba.
Okay, there is a bend here, okay? And a bar will also have this bend. A bar will have a different number of dots. This has got 2 dots. Have a think and compare it to the letter that we've just been doing here.
I got it.
Okay.
Is it ya?
It is indeed, yes. There's the bend. The 2 dots are what define it to be a ya, the 2 dots underneath. Okay, and here?
Zwa.
Okay, very nice. Okay, then this is a zo, okay? Try and pronounce it just as I've said it, okay? Zo.
Zwa.
Okay, well done. Okay, we will work on that. There is no wow sound within it, okay? Zo. Repeat again. Zo.
Zwa.
Okay, we will work on that. And this end letter here?
That is alif.
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 Well done. Okay, and here?
Ta.
Excellent. Well done.
Ha.
Okay, take a breath. Ha.
Ha.
Excellent. And here?
I don't know.
Okay, this is a letter. Let me take you back to where it actually appears so I can show you. Okay, see this letter here? This letter here is a dal. This is how it looks when it begins the word. And here, this is what it looks like when it's in the middle of a word. A letter will lead into it, go up, and it curls around, okay? This is a dal. So let's go back to where we were, which is here. Okay, see if you can recognize that letter now.
Ra.
It's
Dal.
yes, that's right. It's a dal, okay? Notice how this ha joins into it and comes back around and goes around like this. This is
Ya.
excellent. Well done. Okay, sweetheart. Jazakumullah for your help. Okay, and maybe we'll call you back to the mic another time. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you.
Okay, so now that concludes that particular exercise. And what we're going to do now is have a very, very, very quick recap of what we've done so far. Okay, let me take you back to the first lesson where we had the Arabic letters and they were introduced to you. Okay, and I just want to show you how this particular exercise works so that you can always come back to it. Okay, here is an alif. Underneath here in the blue, it shows you all the component sounds that make up an alif. 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 Okay, alif. Now, if we go down to this letter here, okay, this is a zo. Zo. Okay, if you notice underneath here, zo, there is no wow in the sounds, okay? So we don't say zwa, okay? It's a zo. Similarly here, this letter here is a to. To. If you notice underneath, there is no wow within it, okay? We don't say twa, it's to. Similarly, this is a sod. If you look underneath, there is no wow within it. So we don't say swad. Sod is the correct way of pronouncing it. Okay? Now, pronunciation is one of those things that's a major, major, major element within our course. And we will focus quite heavily on pronunciation. But this exercise is something that you can come back to if ever you want to practice on your pronunciation, and you can look underneath to see what the component sounds are, and that should, inshallah, help you. Okay? So this is how to use that particular exercise. Now, if I now go to lesson 3 and okay, now lesson 2. So let me just move down to another important aspect of our course, which is also to do with pronunciation. This is still part of the first lesson, okay? And this is exercise 2.2, okay? There are some letters here that are highlighted in red. These letters, when you pronounce them, they make thick, heavy sounds. And when you read them, usually the way to pronounce them is to round your mouth, okay? This, for example, is a ho. When you pronounce it, round your mouth and take the sound from the back of your throat. Ho, ho. Here is another thick, heavy sound. Sod, dod, do, zo, ghain, and qaf. Okay, these letters highlighted in red are known as thick, heavy sounds, and when you read them, you need to pay attention to how you're actually reading them and how you're pronouncing them. Now, as we go through our course, we will focus quite heavily on pronunciation. So we will bring you back to these exercises to show you again and again how to recognize the letters, okay? So if your pronunciation is good, mashallah, excellent. If not, we will work on it, okay? But in this exercise 2.2 is where they're highlighted, so you can always come back here to find out which of the letters are thick and heavy sounds. Okay, so having done that, let me now move on to lesson 4. And I wanted to just go through a couple of examples of where students can often get confused. Okay, so let me just take up here. Okay. Here is a dal. Okay, notice how it curls. It curls here as well when it begins the word. Here, the meme leads into it, and it leads into it from the bottom and it goes up, and then it curls around like this. Similarly here, this jim leads into it and it curls around like this. This is a dal. Now, if you compare that to a ra, okay, notice how this is a much straighter letter, much straighter here as well. Notice when it's here, this bar leads into it, but it leads into it from the top, and then it goes down like this. Similarly at the end, notice how this bar leads into it from the top, and then it goes round. Ra and dal, when you read it in the Grammar Jeed, sometimes become quite confusing to new readers. But inshallah, with practice, you'll become quite used to being able to recognizing the difference, okay? A ra is much straighter, and previous letters join into it from the top, whereas with the dal, here, they join in from the bottom. The same thing happens with a dal. Looks just like a dal, but with a dot, okay? Notice how this fa joins into from the bottom and then curls around. The dot is on the top. Compare that to a za, okay? Here it is, very straight in comparison. Notice how in this word here, the meme leads into it and goes in from the top and goes down. That's the difference between a za, and if I take it back, and a dal. Again, we will come back to these again and again whenever we encounter them. But this particular exercise is one where you will need to practice quite a lot. Have a look at the letters when they're highlighted in red and try and recognize how the shapes are made. Notice how the letters join into them and how the letters lead into another letter. Okay, now that's enough of a recap. We are now going to go into some presentations. Okay, so bear with me for a second. Okay, we are going to be spending the next 12 weeks together. And what we want is to take you from the stage that you're at, and that may be complete beginner who knows only their letters. It may be somebody who actually maybe has even read the Grammar Majid, but wants to work on their pronunciation. We want to take you from where you're at the moment and lead you to a place where you can read much better. Your pronunciation should be good, your timing should be good, your fluency should be good. Now, in order to do this, we have to make sure that we work together as a team. The first thing you need to do is to make sure that you've got lessons at home that you can revise from. Every day, the teachers will show PDFs on the screen and they will teach you. After the lesson, you will be usually assigned some homework. And so you need to be able to look at those lessons and practice. Okay, and I want to show you first of all how you can download those particular lessons, okay? What you need to do is you need to go into the internet and you need to go to nqc.org.uk, okay? Just like it is here in the red circle. That will take you to this page. This is what will appear. Here, you've got courses. When you put your cursor over the courses, a drop-down box will appear. And what you need to do is choose the Tashilul-Quran course and click on that. When you've clicked on that, you will find that it will take you to this particular screen. And you will get this option here to see more in this section, Tashilul-Quran level G1. If you click on the see more, what will happen is that this page will turn up and you will get a list. This is only a small screenshot, but you'll get a list of all the lessons that are available to download. Click on the appropriate class that you wish to download. Okay. When you click on it, the actual lesson will appear. Okay, this is a part of the page that will appear on your screen. And what you need to do is you need to, where it's circled here, click on this button here. This will download the PDF onto your computer. And then from there, you just need to save it into a folder and then you can access it when the class is finished. Okay, so you can do that all at once. You can download all the lessons all at once, or you can download them every day as we do the lessons. Better still, there is a book called Talimul-Quran. It costs, I believe, £3. You can get it from Battle Futuh bookshop, or you can ask locally if someone can actually arrange to have one brought for you, okay? And that costs about £3. If you can get a hold of the book, it's much, much better. It'll be cheaper for you than printing it. Also, having a book there, you can take it out with you. If you're going to visit somebody and you've got some time, you can look through it. Whereas if you've downloaded onto your computer, you're restricted to either staying in front of the computer or having the paper copies. But it's quite important that you do have some sort of paper copy. So if you can get the book, please do so. If not, download these lessons and print them off. That's how you download the lessons. Okay, now I've been talking for a fair while. Let me just call somebody to the mic, and a young Nasirat. N1234.
You are unmuted by the host.
You.
Assalamu alaikum, darling. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Well done. Alhamdulillah. Did you understand, or did your parent who was with you, did they understand how to download these lessons?
My parent is not here.
Is there no adult with you?
Hanji? Huh?
Is there somebody with you, darling?
Yes.
There is. Okay then. Did they understand how to download these lessons?
Yes.
They did. Excellent. Okay then. Well done. Okay then. Jazakumullah for your help. Let me just put you back onto the mic. Allah Hafiz. Okay, so that's how you download. Okay. Now every day you're going to come into the class and you need to log in. And I'm going to show you the correct login procedure, okay? Now, in order to log in properly, you need to find the email that was sent to you by Talimul-Quran department. Okay, in the email there'll be some information about your ID, which will begin with either a letter N or a letter A, and there'll be some numbers afterwards. Okay, there'll be some other information also about the meeting ID. You need to find that email and get the information from that, because you will need it in order to log in every day. What you need to do is, on your computer or your tablet, you need to download the Zoom app. Okay, and once you've got it, every day, about 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the class, okay, you open up on the Zoom app and you will get this particular screen. Here, where my cursor is moving along, you need to enter the meeting ID. As I say, the meeting ID will exist in an email that was sent to whoever applied for you. Okay, that's where you enter the meeting ID. Here, you need to type in, where it says screen name, you need to enter in your ID. So it will be either N and then some numbers, or A and some numbers. Don't type in your name. Don't type anything else in, just that particular ID that you've been allocated, type that in. Sometimes in this section here, you'll get an automatic setting. For example, if you've got an iPhone, it might say Nabila's iPhone. Okay, that's fine. Just type over it. Okay, type in your ID. Only your ID is required, and only your ID is what we need to see. Okay, don't connect a video. Make sure that that's ticked. Turn off my video. Make sure that's ticked. Okay, if you do those two things, that will be enormously helpful once you start in the class. Okay, and then you click join. Once you join, you'll then be put into a waiting room, and you'll have a screen which says, please wait until the host admits you into the class. So just wait patiently whilst the teacher is setting up and admitting students. Once you're admitted into the class, you'll see usually the opening dua, okay, a screen like this. And that's how it should look. Now, I just want to point out down here where it's been highlighted, start video. Always look on that, okay? There should be a red line through it. If for any reason you've forgotten, okay, to switch off your video, just click on it and then make sure that the red line appears. Once that's done, that's fine, okay? That's the login procedure that you need to have. Now, one other thing that I wanted to point out is that sometimes when you're in the class, you may touch the keyboard accidentally, and you may find that your video comes on accidentally. You yourself might not realize this, but what happens is that your video and whatever you're doing suddenly appears on the screen. The teacher can see, and other participants in the class can also see. That's quite distracting to everybody else. So every now and again, have a look down here. If the red line is not across there, click on it and make sure that a red line goes across. Okay? Okay, so that's actually quite an important aspect. The video must be switched off. That's the correct login procedure. Let's move on to the next. Okay, so the next presentation we're going to do is just about etiquettes of the classroom. Okay, now all of you, I'm sure, are extremely well behaved and well mannered when you go to school. And when you have an assembly and the head teacher is speaking, you'll sit quietly and you listen. When you're sitting in your classroom and your actual form teacher is speaking, you'll sit quietly and you'll listen. Okay. Now, when we're doing these classes, you're sitting at home. You may be sitting in a kitchen, in a living room, on a sofa, on a table, but you'll be at home. But just because you're at home doesn't mean that you mustn't treat this as a classroom. The way that you would behave at school, we expect those manners plus more when you're with us. And just so that everybody knows what's expected of them, we're going to have this presentation, and then everybody will be on the same page, okay? Etiquettes of the classroom. Etiquettes is a big fancy word, and it just means manners, okay? How you're expected to behave what are good manners in our classroom? Okay, now then. Before starting the class, about 10 minutes before the class, you should, well, maybe about 15 minutes before the class, you need to make sure that you do wuzu, okay? Do wuzu, clean your teeth. Make sure your mouth is clean. It's quite important that you do this, okay? When you're reading the Quran Majid, you are worshipping Allah because you are reading the words that Allah has sent to us. It's no different really to when you're reading namaz, offering salah. You would do wuzu before you offered your salah because you're worshipping Allah. That's what's required. When you're reading Quran Majid, you are also worshipping Allah. So you need to do wuzu. We are teaching you how to read Quranic Arabic so that you can lead into Quran Majid, but it's no different. We expect you to be in wuzu. Your teeth should be clean. Remember, when you speak, the words come out of your mouth, okay? The last point that they leave your body is through your mouth. So your teeth should be quite clean. And having cleaned your teeth, during the class, you shouldn't eat, okay? You may get thirsty, you can have a drink of water, but you don't need to eat, okay? You need to concentrate on the lesson and what the teacher is saying. Similarly, you should wear clean clothes. You wouldn't go to school wearing unclean clothes. You wouldn't go to a mosque wearing dirty clothes. You wouldn't offer your namaz, offer salah, wearing dirty clothes. Same thing in the classroom. We expect you to wear clean clothes. The teachers are going to spend quite a lot of time preparing lessons and delivering them to you. And a lot of effort does go into that. And so it's quite important that you can actually take benefit from that. So you need to sit somewhere quite quiet. There shouldn't be a TV on in the background. There shouldn't be lots of loud noises. No one should be running around. Anybody who's with you should sit down quietly and watch, okay? And it's quite important that you have either a mum or a dad or an older brother, an aunt or uncle, somebody older who can watch the class with you and then afterwards discuss what was taught and then help you, okay? Your head should be covered. If you're a tifl, you should wear a topi or a cap. If you're a young Nasirat, you should wear either a scarf or a dupatta. Your head should be covered. Okay, so that's the sort of things that you need to do before you start the class. When you are about to enter the class, okay, about 2 or 3 minutes before, don't wait until 6 o'clock, about 5 to 6, log in, okay? You'll sit in the waiting room, you'll wait. The teacher will also be preparing her lesson and setting up the classroom. Just wait, okay? Punctuality is really important. We have 60 minutes to deliver our classes. Each of those 60 minutes is to be used in delivering some sort of information so that you are learning all the way through. If you come late, not only will you disturb the teacher who has to keep an eye on whoever's in the waiting room and enter them, but you'll also miss whatever's being done, okay? So punctuality is quite important. Don't worry, even if you're waiting 5 minutes, just wait patiently, the teacher will admit you. Occasionally, there may be a technical problem, something may happen to the internet, and the teacher may be delayed. It doesn't often happen, but sometimes it does. Just wait patiently. The teacher won't give up on the lesson, and she expects people to be in the waiting room so that she can admit them when she starts the class. Always make sure you enter with your correct ID. The teacher will not give you a mic. The teacher will not give you a mic if you do not have correct ID. If you've typed in your name, the teacher won't give you the microphone. If you've typed in, I don't know, your device's name, like a Galaxy S8 or something, the teacher will not give you the microphone. In fact, actually, we're going to be quite strict. And within a few days, we're not going to be admitting students into the classroom if they don't have the correct ID. Okay? It's very important that you have a correct ID with you. As I said, video should be off and the audio should be off. You don't need to worry too much about the audio because the main teacher will switch off the audio anyway. But the video is something that you need to make sure is off and stays off, okay? And I did show that to you in a presentation a few moments ago. During the class, okay, so the teacher will be talking and explaining, and we don't want you to lose concentration. Listen to what the teacher is saying. She knows what she's saying. She knows why she's saying it. There is a purpose to it. You need to listen and follow. If she's reading something out, what you need to do is to follow along with her. So if she's sounding a letter, sound it out also. If she's explaining how to pronounce it, what to do with your tongue, how to move your lips, try and practice that at home, okay? The teacher is teaching you. It doesn't matter that you're not on the microphone. The teacher is still teaching, okay? When the teacher gives the microphone to another child, okay, don't think, oh, okay, it's not my turn, so therefore I don't need to pay attention, and then let your attention wander. When somebody's called to the microphone, the teacher will give that student time. She will listen to that student, and then she will give that student some feedback based on how that student performed. Now, usually when a student makes some sort of error that the teacher needs to correct, other people will also have made the same error. So just because you're not on the microphone doesn't mean to say that you won't benefit. If the teacher is giving feedback to the student on the mic, chances are you'll benefit also. So always stay concentrating. The teacher is talking and teaching. She's given the mic to somebody else. You are always part of the class. You are always being taught. Okay? Okay, so we are going to be teaching you Quranic Arabic, and what we are going to do is, God willing, use some Arabic terms. And what I wanted to do was explain some of those terms to you so that you know what they mean. Some of the things that you'll hear will be inshallah, okay? When a teacher says this, what she's saying is that, you know, God willing, if you're intending to do something, inshallah, it will get done. With God's will, it will get done. Okay? That's what inshallah means. Sometimes you'll hear jazakillah or jazakallah. When you hear those two, what they mean is may Allah reward you. Jazakillah is when you are speaking to a young girl or to a woman and you can say jazakillah to them. If you're speaking to a young tifl or a man, you say jazakallah. It would be wrong to say jazakallah to a girl. It would be wrong to say jazakillah to a boy. Jazakumullah is a term that we would use when we're talking to a group of people, okay? So if I'm addressing the whole class and I want to thank them for their attendance, I would say jazakumullah. Sometimes you're speaking to an elder, it's a sign of respect, okay? Jazakumullah. Now, commonly people use this to say thank you. It actually, jazakumullah, actually has a little bit of a dua in it. It actually means may Allah reward you. Okay, so it's not quite the same as thank you. And it's a little bit of dua. So when we say jazakallah, jazakillah, or jazakumullah, we are saying may Allah reward you for your efforts in attending the class, in being punctual, and so on. Okay. The class is 60 minutes long. We expect you to stay for the 60 minutes. The teacher will stay for the 60 minutes. We expect you to stay for the 60 minutes. Stay until the end when the final dua is done, okay? And the teacher has given you leave, just the same as it would be when you're in a classroom at school, okay? Wait until the teacher has given you leave before you leave the class. Now, during the class, the teacher will assign usually some homework, okay? And you were assigned some homework yesterday, and she will bring a PDF up on the screen, and you are to note that homework down. Okay, so always have a pen and a piece of paper. Sometimes there may be a lot of homework. So you may find that if you've got a mobile phone, you could take a quick photo of the screen and then write it down afterwards, just in case your writing isn't as quick as it can be. Okay, but the homework has been set by the teacher, and you are expected to do that homework because you are expected to practice. We will teach you for 60 minutes, but you need to consolidate that learning afterwards by practicing. If you do the homework, you will improve. At the weekends, you will also be set some homework, and you are to do this homework also. Fit it in around everything else that you're doing, but make sure you do it. Okay, we are going to spend 12 weeks together, and we want it to be a happy time together. And we don't want you to get frustrated because you're not learning things. The teachers are putting in a lot of effort. We expect you to return that effort because you will ultimately benefit. Okay, and to conclude that particular presentation, follow the rules that I've said, the guidelines that we are giving you, and inshallah, you will succeed. Okay, now I've been talking for a few moments. Let me just bring somebody to the mic. Atfal A1131, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, darling. How are you?
Good.
Alhamdulillah, well done. Okay, sweetheart, did you follow that presentation? Did you understand what I was saying?
Yes.
You did. Okay, is there somebody with you, an adult, your mum or your dad?
Yes.
Excellent, well done. That's very, very important. Yeah, if your mum and your dad, or your mum or your dad, can be with you, it is best. They will probably learn something as well. And they know you best, so they can always assist you afterwards when you're having some difficulty. Okay, so excellent that your mum is there. Jazakumullah. Okay, Allah Hafiz, darling.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, so a couple more things to do. Accessing class recordings. When we finish the class, some hours later, the class will have been recorded and uploaded onto a website so that if you wanted to, you could come back to it and watch it again and continue your learning process. Okay. Occasionally, you may not be able to attend the class. We do expect 100% attendance, but obviously we live in the real world and we can't always attend. Something may have happened that prevents you from attending the class. The class recordings exist for you to go to and access. And in this very short presentation, I will show you how to. So what you do is you go to the internet and you type in nqc.org.uk. Okay. And that will take you to this particular page. Okay, this is the screen that will appear. Go to class recordings and you will get this drop-down menu, G1 class recordings. Click on G1 class recordings. That will take you to this particular page, okay? And this is a screenshot of what was happening last term, okay? So this term, you won't see these particular lessons. You will see what is happening in term 3. So what you do is you go to the lesson that you want to view, you click on it and it will play. And it's as simple as that. And if you can watch through, even if you've attended the classes, if you watch through, you will probably find that you will learn a little bit more than you did even during the class. Okay, so that I think is a fair amount of information that I've given you. Hopefully somebody has been with you and they've been writing down notes as to the things that I've been discussing. Later on this evening, inshallah, a recording of this class will appear. So you can always go to it and access just in case you've missed something. If you have any sort of problems or you have some sort of query, you are able to contact the department by emailing. Now, the email that was sent to you with your meeting ID and your personal ID should have all the information on there. We will prepare a PDF which will have all the information for you to be able to contact us with any queries, okay? If there's anything that you're concerned about, feel free to email. We can only deal with problems and issues if we're made aware of them, okay? We are putting in a lot of effort in order to teach something that is quite important. And if we're failing in some way, we want to know so that we can improve, okay? Okay, so Jazakumullah for listening to all of those presentations. I'm now going to conclude the class with a short prayer. But before I do that, let me just give you the homework. The homework for today, for Thursday, the 11th of January, is the combined letters. The exercise that I finished today, the combined letters, you're expected to practice that exercise 4.1 from the letter Dad to the letter Ya. The reference pages are 25 to 28. So if you have a copy of the Talimul-Quran book, those are the pages that you need to go to. If not, when you go online, you will see these page numbers at the end, at the bottom of the page, okay? So if I show you here, okay, let me just find where you are to practice from. From this particular letter here, practice all the way down here to the letter Ya, okay? Go through each of the letters on each line, okay? Pay attention to the number of dots, whether they're above or below the line. Pay attention to how the letter joins into a letter, how a letter is joined by a previous letter, whether or not a letter joins into another one or not. The basis of everything that you're going to do is going to be in this particular lesson. You need to be able to recognize these letters in their shapes, okay? Okay, so now we are going to go to the end dua. So let me choose somebody. I have had 3 tifls, so let me find a young Nasirat. N1235. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, darling. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Yes, I'm also good. Jazakumullah for asking. Okay, so I'm going to read this dua. Okay, I will lead. Please follow with me. Everybody at home, please also follow. Okay. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Allahumma
Allahumma
hamni
abdi
bil qur
bilkul
bil qur'an
bilkul
bil qur'anil azim.
Qur'anil azim.
Excellent, well done. Jazakumullah. Would you possibly read the English translation, please?
Oh Allah, have mercy on me through the great Quran.
Excellent. Jazakumullah, sweetheart, for your help. Okay, Jazakumullah, everyone, for your attendance. I hope today's lesson has been beneficial. Inshallah, we will meet again tomorrow. For the moment, for the time being, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.